Hello everyone, this is video 10 in the college algebra series, and today I will be finishing off what I left off in the last video where I was discussing some word problems. So I discussed 3 word problems in the last video relating to linear equations, and I will be doing 2 more today. And in the upcoming videos, I will talk more about function transformations and how, if we know the root function, we know how to plot, how easier methods to plot transformations of functions. So for now, I have 2 word problems here planned for this video, and I will get started. So in the first question here, we are given that suppose the height in centimeters of a candle is a linear function of the amount of time it has been burning. So basically we are said that the height of this candle is in a linear relation with the time that it has been burning. So after 8 hours of burning, a candle has a height of 20.4 centimeters, and after 19 hours of burning, its height is 18.2 centimeters. And we want to know what is the height of the candle after 16 hours. So things that we are given here already are in 8 hours, the height of the candle is 20.4 centimeters, and after 19 hours, the height of the candle is 18.2 centimeters. So we first begin by finding the slope, right? So that would be, so we want to first find our equation, our linear equation, which is of the form y equals mx plus b. And then we can plug in 16 as our x value and get our y value. So if you take a step back and see that we are given all the information that we need to find a linear equation, because we know that to find a linear equation, a function, we only need 2 points, or we need a point and a slope. So we are already given 2 points, so it's easy to find the slope, and then automatically we would have a point and a slope now, and we can find our equation y equals mx plus b. So we'll begin by finding the slope. So as you can recall, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is 18.2 minus 20.4 divided by 19 minus 8, which is negative 2.2 over 11, which is negative 0.2. So this is our m value. So we essentially found what this value is, and we have y and x, so we can choose either of these points. So you could think of these as x and y coordinates. So it could be 8, 20.4 and 19, 18.2. So while I was solving for the slope, I considered this as x2, y2, and the other coordinate as x1, y1. That's how I got the slope. And now we can just plug in any of these ordered pairs here into our y and x and get the equation. And as you know, no matter which point you choose, you will end up with the same equation. I'm just going to choose the first point here, as it has relatively smaller numbers compared to the other point, but just know that no matter which point you choose, you'll end up with the same equation. So it's just more efficient to choose a smaller number for faster calculation and more accuracy, but it really doesn't matter. So now, instead of y here, we would have 20.4 equals m, we already know is negative 0.2, and x here is 8, and then we want to know what b is, right? So I will just write this equation the other way around, where I'm saying minus 0.2 times 8 plus b equals 20.4, and this would be negative 1.6 plus b equals 20.4, and b is 20.4 plus 1.6, which will give us 22. So we have our b value and we have our m. So our equation essentially here is y equals negative 0.2 x plus b, which is plus 22. So this is our equation. Now, the main question that this word problem is asking us is to find the height of the candle after 16 hours. So essentially, the ordered pair would be 16 comma question mark. So this is what we need to find. So what we would do is plug in our x value here and get what the y value is. So it's very straightforward from here. So it would just be y equals negative 0.2 times 16 plus 22. So we're just plugging in our x value. So if you recall from the very first video where we were evaluating functions, instead of saying f of x here, now it's going to be f of 16. So wherever there is an x, we are plugging in 16 here. That is why we have negative 0.2 times 16 plus 22, which will give us negative 3.2 plus 22, which is 18.8 centimeters. So our final answer is 18.8 centimeters. So that is the height of the candle after 16 hours. Now, to understand more what is happening in this question here is that for every hour, the amount of candle the height of the candle that's reducing here is 0.2. That is what this negative 0.2 represents. This is the height that's being reduced for every unit time, and here each unit of time is calculated in hours. So for every hour, there's 0.2 centimeters reduction in our candle height. So we didn't even have to find the b value necessarily, at least for this question. It's a little more straightforward because we already know what the height is for 8 hours. It says that it is 20.4 centimeters. So now if we want to know 16 hours, that means the candle was lit up for 8 more hours. That means for each hour, it has been reducing for 0.2 centimeters. So for 8 hours, that would be 8 times 0.2, which is 1.6. So it means that it has reduced 1.6 centimeters in 8 hours. So if it was at 8 hours, if it was 20.4 centimeters, at 16 hours, it would be 20.4 minus 1.6, which will still give us 18.8 centimeters. So this is another way to find the height at 16 hours. So if you see, we got the same answer no matter which way we solve it. So it's 18.8 in both cases. So just in case things like this don't click in your mind immediately, maybe when you're taking an exam or doing your homework, it's very it's okay to do the lengthier method, which will give us more confidence on the answer. But if you think that there is a small trick somewhere hidden and you can crack it, it's faster, and if you're confident, it's good. All right. So let me go to the next question here. So here I have supposed that the weight in pounds of an aeroplane is a linear function of the amount of fuel in gallons in its tank. So basically, pounds is not pounds, weight of this airplane is linearly dependent on the fuel. So this weight is given in pounds and this fuel is given in gallons. And we are set that when carrying 20 gallons of fuel, so 20 gallons of fuel, the weight is 2165 pounds. And when carrying 25 gallons of fuel, the weight is 2260 pounds. So how much does the aeroplane weigh if it's carrying 35 gallons of fuel? So it's very similar to the previous problem where we can make this into an ordered pair. So we can write this as 20, 2165 as our x1, y1, and 25, 2260 as our x2, y2. So let me write that down. So this can be x1, y1 and x2, y2. So again, we are trying to find the linear equation because we are already said that they're related in a linear function. So we write our equation, which is of the form y equals mx plus b. So here we need the slope, and to find the slope, we need 2 points, which we are given here. So our slope formula is again y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Plugging in the values, we would get 2260 minus 2165 divided by 5, which is equal to 95 by 5, which is 19. So we know that the slope is 19, which means that for every gallon you put in more into the airplane, the weight is going to increase by 19 pounds. So that is the relation. That is what this 19 here, the slope means, is that for each increase in 1 gallon of fuel, the weight is going to increase by 19 pounds. That is the relation the weight and the amount of fuel have. Okay, so now that we have M, we need to find what B is. And again, we can use any of the y and x values from these two ordered pairs here to find our B value. Again, no matter which one you choose, you're going to get the same answer. Here I'm going to use the second point here, the one with 25 and 2260. So, okay, let us plug in. So y is 2260, which is equal to 19, which we found out using the slope formula, times 25, which is the x value, plus b. I'll write it down the other way where I have 475 plus b equals 2260. 475 here is just 19 times 25. And subtracting 475 on both sides, you get 2260 minus 475. And b is 1785. So what this B means is if there is no fuel at all in the plane would weigh 1785 pounds. And for each gallon of fuel that you keep filling the plane with, the weight keeps increasing by 19 pounds as you increase each gallon. So per gallon, the weight increases 19 pounds, and without any fuel, the plane weighs 1785 pounds. And now we want to find out how much does the airplane weigh if it's carrying 35 gallons of fuel. So now we want to find y, where x is 35. So my m is 19. So it's 19 times 35 plus 1785, which would be, I'm plugging it into my calculator here. So I have 19 times 35, which is 665. So we have 665 plus 1785 plus 1785, which is 2450. So it's 2450 pounds heavy. So that is the weight of the plane if it's carrying 35 gallons of fuel. Okay, so that is the end of both the problems here. And this is also the end of the video. And in the next video, I'll be talking more about graphs and how to plot function transformations. And if you know anybody who would benefit from these videos, please feel free to share them. And I will see you in the next one.